All right, so we'll discuss what we are going to discuss today. So first we are going to see understanding about plugins. Next, installing additional plugins, whatever is necessary. Next, set up Maven on Jenkins. So far our Maven server is differ and Jenkins server is differ, but we are going to set up Maven on Jenkins. Then run a Maven job from Jenkins and DSL jobs. Then master and slave in Jenkins. Then integrating Artifactory with Jenkins and Jenkins pipeline. Maybe all these concepts we may not cover. We may cover till here or else DSL jobs. Till here we are going to cover in today's session. Let's jump in. So I have already started my Jenkins server and I also logged into my Jenkins server. My Jenkins server name is Jenkins server. We have renamed it, but in previous or two classes before we have commented out our existing host name, so it was not picking up, so I removed it and I just kept only Jenkins server. Even you can do the same thing. Next thing, I'm accessing my Jenkins server from the browser, and 8080 is the port number. Username is Jenkins, password also Jenkins at 123. Okay, I have logged into my Jenkins server. So most of you know that how does it work. So you understand the console now. Nothing in the build queue. Usually in general, what happens in the build queue, there could be few jobs will be waiting to execute by your Jenkins server. And execution build executions executor status, if any builds are happening, it is going to display over here. You can see here, you can see only two numbers, nothing but at a time it can able to run the at a time it can able to run only two jobs at a time. Sorry, at the same point of time it can run only two jobs. If you want to run more than two jobs, you need to increase this build executor status. You can increase, depends upon the your Jenkins server capabilities. We are going to see whenever we are talking about master and slave systems. Right, now we are going to talk about manage Jenkins. So you can see here we have a lot of jobs, and there is a warning, but just ignore it. So configure system, configure global security. So like this, we have various options, and we are going to talk about manage plugins. If you do remember, we have installed few plugins while installing our Jenkins. Those are recommended by Jenkins whenever we were installing. So here, if you click on the plugins, manage plugins, you will come to this page. Under this page, you have updates available, installed, and advanced. So here in installed, whatever plugins you have installed on your system, you can see those plugins over here. I'm just clicking on installed. You can see here Ant plugin we have installed during the installation. Next, um, Bouncy Castle API plugin, build timeout. Next, command agent launcher plugin. Like this, we have some plugins, and here you can see few other plugins, but there is no uninstall option over here. Why? Because these all are the dependency plugins. Nothing but if I want to install this plugin, these plugins are necessary. So it installs the dependency plugin, then it installs the other plugin as well. But anyway, we are going to see in a while. So these all our plugins are available on this system. Now, if you want to install any additional plugins, you can go to the available stage. So in available stage, you have lot of plugins, okay, which are developed by the Jenkins, and these plugins are available. So this is plugins are one of the reason why we use mostly Jenkins, because it can interact with the any tool or most of the tools which are available in Jenkins. Whenever you have plugins, then only your Jenkins can interact it. If you don't have plugin, your Jenkins cannot interact with the tool which you want to use. So it is always necessary that you should have a plugin. Even now I want to interact with Maven. If I don't have Maven plugin, I cannot able to interact with my Maven server. That's the reason I must install Maven, even Git as well. If I don't have Git plugin, I cannot able to interact with my Git. So it's always necessary that you should install respective plugins. Now these plugins are developed by your Jenkins guys. So if I go to uh, Jenkins plugins, okay, you can see here Jenkins plugins.io. If you go here, you can search for the plugins whatever is necessary. So this is the where you can search for your plugin. Assume that I need Git plugin. I can search for the Git plugin. It displays the Git plugin. In Git also there are different kind of stuff is there. Maybe we may not use all this stuff, but this is the Git plugin. But the same thing will be available over here. So over here in available state, if you search for Git, you can find the Git. But at this moment you cannot find it, because available state, it is going to show you only the plugins which are not installed, but Git plugin we have already installed. But still you can see some results. These all are the additional GitHub authentication. This is also GitHub authentication, and Git clone, build notification, GitHub issues. Like this, we have few other keywords came whenever we search for Git. But if I go and search for installed state Git, you can see the Git plugin. Yep, you can see this one, Git plugin. So this is the Git plugin which we are talking about, and you can able to see the Git plugin to install or uninstall. Maybe it is not showing. It is showing as a dependency, but usually you can see the Git plugin. You need to install manually. Okay. So like this, you have hundreds of plugins. Sorry. So you have hundreds of plugins in your Git IO. You can just go to plugins and you can search whatever plugin you need. And you can see the category wise. These are all new plugins, recently updated and trending plugins. Okay. So these all are the categories which are divided. But most of the cases, we are going to search our Git plugins under available state. And if it is under installed stage, nothing but it is already available for our Jenkins system. If you don't find something in installed state, you can come and search for available. Let's talk about Maven. Maven also it's installed. So you can see here, you cannot able to see the Maven integration is there. Yep. So this we need Maven integration, and even you can go and search for Maven over here. You can see here there is no plugin for Maven. There is no plugin for Maven in the installed state. So we are going for in the available page and search for Maven. Okay, so Maven integration plugin we should install. So select the plugin whatever you would like to install, and you can see here the versions they are going to specify. These versions keep on updating whenever they have a latest plugins. So Maven integration plugin 3.6. If we have installed Maven integration plugin, after that they have released 3.7, then it will show up under update status. Currently these Jenkins system we have installed recently, and whatever plugins are installed, there is no updates for these plugins. But once we have installed and any updates came for those plugins, then it is going to show you over here, right? So I will go again to available plugins and Maven. It's taking time here. Okay, Maven. So for Maven, you need to install Maven integration plugin. Okay, Maven integration plugin. Do we need any other plugins? No. And Maven invoker. Yep, sorry. So Maven invoker as well. So these two plugins we need it, Maven integration and Maven invoker. So these two plugins we need to manage our Maven. Next, install without restart and download now and install after restart. So these two are the options. What you can tell to your Jenkins that you can choose install without restart. Nothing but right now it is going to install it. Download and install after restart. If you choose this option, It downloads the plugin, but it won't install until you restart your Jenkins services. Not the server, Jenkins services. Jenkins services means this Jenkins application. You can go here and service Jenkins stop and service Jenkins start. If you do, then it is going to install that particular plugin. Okay, but I want to go with the install without reboot. Most of the cases we can install most of the plugins without any restart, but few plugins it is mandatory to restart your server. I mean to say Jenkins server. In those cases, you must go with the restart after installation. But anyway, I'm just going with the install without restart. Now you can see here, even though I choose Maven integration and Maven invoker plugin, it is installing Java doc and loading plugin executions. These two are the additional plugins which are added to this one. So whenever you choose your plugin, it automatically grabs the dependency plugins. Even it requires the Git plugin, but if some plugins are already installed, it doesn't show us. But if you need the plugins, dependency plugins, it is going to show you the all the dependency plugins which it is installing. Now you have installed the plugins, and this blue color nothing but it is successfully installed. And you can see here, go back to the top page, or else what you can do, you can restart Jenkins with when installation is complete and no jobs are running. So now you have installed. If you don't want to face any problem, you can choose this checkbox. If you choose this checkbox, you can able to it is automatically restart your Jenkins. Let's choose this one and we'll see. You can see here the installation is successful. That is the reason it is restarting our Jenkins, not the server. Okay, so what does it do? As I shown you, it is going to stop the services and start the services. And whenever it started, once the Jenkins is available, it automatically redirects to the home page. But most of the cases, you no need to restart your Jenkins. Most of the plugins, but few plugins, it is always recommended to go with the restart. All right, it's just got restarted. Now again, I'm going to log in Jenkins at 123. I have logged in. Now again, I'm going to my plugins dashboard, not updated center. Manage Jenkins. Sorry, manage plugins. I can go directly. Manage plugins now. Now this time I will go and search for Maven in available status. You cannot able to see that one, or else I will go and search in the installed state. And if I search for Maven, you can see here. Now you could see Maven integration plugin and Maven invoker plugin. Earlier it was under available state and we have installed it. Whenever you want to uninstall, you can uninstall. So if you install any plugin, you can get the option as a uninstall. But if you are not installing what I can say, that particular plugin, you cannot able to uninstall. It is a dependency plugin, so you need to remove uh, the plugin which is dependent on this plugin. It automatically get removes. Maybe it may be dependent on some other and or Gradle. So if I remove and or Gradle, it is going to remove it. Next, available. If I go and search for available again as a Maven, you cannot see the plugins which we have installed. If you search for Maven integration or Maven invoker plugins, you cannot able to find it because we have already installed. So it will be in installed status. Next, advanced. So advanced is the what I can say, way you can upload your plugins. You can see here, upload your plugins. Assume that some plugins are not at all available, or you might have written your own plugin. Okay, you can write the customized plugins. I don't think so it is necessary, but still few times what you can do, you can download your plugins. Sometimes you can download your plugin and you can upload over here. Okay, you can upload over here and install the plugins. That is another way, but most of the cases we don't choose this option. Okay, Sometimes it may not pick up under available, then you need to go and download the particular plugin and install it. Okay, so this HTTP configuration, we never tried it, but you just ignore it for now. So this is about the plugins. So whatever plugins you want to install, search in the available state and install it. Once it is installed, it comes into the installed tab. And if there is any updates for the installed plugins, the updates will be available over here, but we don't update frequently. Maybe if necessary, we are going to update it. All right, now go back to the Jenkins. That is about the Jenkins, what I can say, Maven plugin installation. Yep, I just
Chandra,
need to, yeah.
can we know, I mean, dependencies, what plugins are dependent on?
No, it automatically picks up. You no need to know, or it is not necessary as well, because there could be sometimes 30, 40 plugins may be necessary to install. Even if I take Git, okay, Git is already installed. If I check for the Git, so Git is already, this one Git plugin is already installed. So initially, if you start install your first plugin, you can see the lot of plugins are installing. Even if I am installing Git, it may install 30, 40 dependency plugins during the Git. That's how it comes. And a few plugins, even for Maven also, it necessary lot of dependency plugins, but those might be installed already. We have Ant and Gradle, right? Ant and Gradle also will do the same similar kind of activity how the Maven does do. So those plugins might be already installed. That is the reason you could see only 4 plugins.
Okay, okay, Shay. Thanks.
No problem. Next thing, you can remove or uninstall your plugins. So, and we are not going to install anyway. Sorry, using anyway. So I'm uninstalling it. To uninstall, you just need to click on uninstall. You can see here you are about to uninstall and plugin. This will remove the plugin binaries from the so and so so and so. That's okay. Yes to remove. And it has been uninstalling. Let's wait for a while. So you can restart your Jenkins server from browser itself. So after your Jenkins URL, you can just give restart. So it will ask you that, are you sure, do you want to restart? Yes, I would like to restart. So this is simple. Even instead of going into the what I can say CLI and restarting, rather than that one, you can restart from the browser itself. Just you need to give /restart. So it restarts your Jenkins server. Again, you need permissions to do that one, because my Jenkins user is the administrative user, so that I can do. If I create a normal user, you cannot able to restart it. Again, I'm going to manage Jenkins and manage plugins and installed. If I go and ANT, if I search, there is no plugin for Ant. Okay, so we have removed it. And if I search under available state, whenever you remove it, it will show under available state now. Because again, if you want to install, you can search for ANT and it displays the ANT plugin. So where does it? It is not showing here. Again, I may need to restart it to grab it, but anyway, so this is how we can uninstall and install required plugins. Okay, any questions on plugins? All right, so now we have installed our Maven plugin. Now I would like to run my Maven job. For that, you can create a new item. And this time, earlier, I don't know, I haven't observed it, whether we have Maven project or not. But once you have installed Maven plugin, you can see this Maven project. Okay, usually it doesn't show up if you don't have the Maven project. So you can see the description, build a Maven project. Jenkins take advantage of your POM files and drastically drastically reduce the configuration. So it takes the Maven pom.xml file and it can build. But still you can build your Maven project from the freestyle as well. Okay, there is no issue. But as I said, once you have installed your plugin, you need to install your Maven as well, right? Sorry, you need to configure your Maven to your Jenkins. So that is the reason you should again go to the manage Jenkins and you should tell to your what I can say uh, Jenkins that where you have installed Maven, where you have installed Maven. So just to treat that Maven plugin is differ and Maven installation is differ. So Maven installation nothing but on server where you have installed. So far we haven't installed Maven in this system. So far we haven't installed Maven in our Jenkins system. So what we can do, we can go to the global tool configuration, and if you scroll down, usually this Maven option you should get whenever you install Maven plugin. But we have got what I can say pre-installed plugins, couple of them. That is the reason you might have seen this option earlier as well. And if you see here, Gradle is there now, Ant is not there because we have removed it. Otherwise, it might have shown Ant as well. But now go with the Maven installation, add the Maven. You can you need to give the Maven name. Okay, this is the Maven configuration. If you see this one, this dotted lines is showing that till here it is Maven what I can say configuration. So I'm just giving name as a Maven, and you can see here install automatically, install automatically. And if you choose this one, unchoose this install automatically, you need to give that where your Maven is installed. So in case if you have installed manually on your Jenkins server, you need to give the path of your Maven home, that is slash opt slash bin we are giving, right? Sorry, slash opt slash Maven and slash bin, right? So same thing you need to provide over here, Maven home directory. Maven home we are going to set up, right? That path you need to specify over here. Otherwise, you just need to choose the install automatically. But usually we don't go with this option, install automatically. We don't go with this option. This is a temporary way to run only that particular job. Okay, to run only that particular job, and you cannot see this installation in the server at all. You cannot see that installation or the server at all. But to run Maven job, even you can choose this option, but initially we'll go with install automatically, then we'll go and install manually. Apply, and this is a shortest way to run your jobs. But most of the people doesn't recommend to go with the install automatically option. Now we can go and create our new job. Here I'm going to choose Jenkins job 1. Okay, sorry, not Jenkins, Maven job 1 I'm choosing, and a Maven project. This is a Maven project, so let's try with the Maven project. And if I click OK, then you need to give the description, but we are not giving, and it is not also parameterized, so we are not choosing. Let's go with the git, and this is the URL. It is a public URL, it won't ask for anything. Now if you scroll down, and you can see here pre-steps. Okay, for the build, this is pre-steps and we are building it. So we need to tell to where your pom.xml is located. So what does it do? This pom.xml, it looks for the root directory. Root directory nothing but you just cloned it here, right? So here it looks for the pom.xml. Assume that this pom.xml is inside src, then you need to provide the path of this pom.xml like src slash pom.xml. So this is how you need to provide. But currently it is under the top level nothing but in the root directory itself of this particular repository. So just pom.xml would be fine. Now you need to provide the goal. Goals nothing but how we are giving in our mvn command, right? So same mvn command it is going to execute. So there we are giving goals as a clean and package, right? Okay, clean and package we are giving. So same inputs we are giving, clean, package, install, deploy, all this stuff we can give. But we are just going to clean package, so it is going to create a package, and we are not doing any other stuff. Apply, and we just given the form.xml and what is the goals it has to execute. So goals and options, here we need to provide the goals and save it. Now I have created a new job, that is Maven job 1. So and we need to execute this job. So to execute this job, we can execute the build now. So let's execute build now. Now what does it do? It is going to pull the code onto your Jenkins server, and it execute the Maven mvn command, and it creates the package. It creates the package, and that information get updated in the workspace. So either you can click workspace or else you can get and see. But now go and see the build output. You can see here it started by Jenkins, and this is the first time we are running, right? If you do remember, dependency plugins it has to download. You can see here from the Maven repository it is downloading all the dependency plugins, and it's going. So it is downloading all necessary plugins, third-party plugins onto your Maven server. So now Maven and Jenkins are running on a same system. Okay, it gone to test cases, and you can see here build is successful, and archiving slash where lib workspace Maven job 1. In this particular space there is a pom.xml. By executing that one, it has created a snapshot. You can see here com.veloxy hello world so and so so and so. The snapshot name is hello world 1.0 snapshot.pom, because in the pom.xml we have given this name. Then it has been archiving, it has been stored under this location. Which location? Where lib Jenkins workspace. Then your job name, under job you have the target directory, under target directory you have workspace. So same thing we have seen in our Maven classes as well, right? So if I go inside to this one, here you have the your Maven job 1. If I go inside to Maven job 1, you can see here pom.xml src. This is the source code which has been downloaded from your Jenkins system, and it is a target directory which is created after executing package. Okay, now under package it's created a jar file, that is hello world 1.0 snapshot.jar. Okay, and the test cases results are stored over here. This surefire is a plugin which is help us to run the test cases. So if I go inside to surefire, and you can see the test case results. All right, so this is how we can build our Maven code by using the Jenkins. Maven code by using the Jenkins. Now, if you do remember, here we haven't installed Maven on our Jenkins system. Maven in our Jenkins system, if I run MVN, it won't execute in our Jenkins system because it is temporary installation. Whenever you go with the install automatically, it doesn't install your Maven in our Jenkins system. Only it stores for temporary purpose to execute your job. Once job is executed, you cannot able to find the Maven. But if you need your Maven all the time on your Jenkins, you need to install manually on your Jenkins system. How we do or how we installed earlier. Okay, so the procedure is same. If you do remember, search for Maven download and go to Maven page, and take the latest version. So binary tar.gz, this is the one I am taking, copying link address, and go to your Jenkins. I would like to install it under my OPT itself, wget, and download the Maven packages. Clear the screen, ls, It is downloaded, and untar it, tar minus xvzf. I'm untarring it and clear the screen, ls, and this is the Apache, and I need to give the path of this one in the uh, what I can say, home directory, sorry, bin bash underscore profile. So before doing that one, I just rename it to the Maven Apache to just Maven, this version. Okay, so entire directory I'm renaming it, so that would be easy, right? Just I'm giving as a Maven as a name. So what I have done, I just renamed, instead of having the Apache Maven 3.6.3, just I renamed the directory name as a just Maven. So inside, go to inside Maven ls. Here you have the bin directory, cd bin pwd. Okay, so this is the path, but till here we need to take. Now I am going to edit my bash underscore profile. So go to tilde slash dot bash underscore profile, and we haven't set up Java path as well. Yeah, we need to set it up. Okay, so o m2 underscore home is equal to this one, and m2 is equal to slash opt maven and slash bin. Okay, this is the path. Now instead of slash opt maven, we just give dollar m2 underscore home as well, because dollar m2 underscore home means it is going to replace this value with the slash opt maven, then it will be bin. Next path, we are going to use the dollar m2 underscore home colon dollar m2. And even I would like to set up my Java path as well. Let me grab my Java path for this Jenkins server, so I can get that command from the, or else I can go directly slash uh, bin find slash minus name Java. Just it displays the where and all Java is installed. So you can see here, you need to give the jar directory. This is the one, usr lib Java, this one, and this is the jar, right? So this is the location we should provide, I believe. Let me grab the command here because it has been a while back. github.com slash Yankel simple DevOps project, and go to Jenkins installation, not Jenkins jobs. Jenkins installation and Jenkins installation, and you need to search with this option. So same thing I have done. So yes, we need to check for this path. Okay, usr lib Java. So same thing I was talking, usr lib Java. Till here we need to set up our Java path. Okay, so I'm just setting up my Java path as well. Sorry, va tilde slash dot bash underscore profile. Okay, so here we are setting up o Java underscore home is equal to this path, and colon dollar Java underscore home. Okay, these steps we have already done when we were installing our Maven, but this time I have ran through little quickly because we know all this stuff. Now if I do echo dollar path, it is not yet updated, but if I do source tilde slash dot bash underscore profile. So what exactly source command does do, it read the bash underscore profile again, and whatever new changes you have done right now, it will take up all those changes. So earlier till here it was showing, now it is showing that slash root bin slash opt maven /opt maven /opt maven bin and the Java path. Okay, all this stuff it has been came. Now even in my Jenkins server also I'm going to use this path rather than using install automatically. Using install automatically I will use this path. So let's go back to our Jenkins again. Manage Jenkins and global tool configuration, and here Maven I'm not using install automatically. Instead of that one, Maven home directory. This is the one we have given, right? /opt Maven. Apply and save it. Now again, I can go and execute the job. This time what will happen? It is not going to take up the Maven which is automatically installed. It is going to take up the Maven which we have installed in our local system. So let's again build it, and this time it could be quite faster. Why? Because all the dependency plugins are already installed on our system, and it run through quite faster. And you can see here test cases and build is successful. Okay. Now if I go to my Maven job, okay, and if I go to my /var lib Jenkins, this is the default directory, right? So again workspace is the directory. So pwd, if you go inside to this one, this is our Maven job one, and this time also we just executed package, but ls -l, you can see the timestamp. Currently it is 206 and date now 207. So just now it got created. So every time whenever you execute your job, your jar file get replaced with the latest one. Okay. So this is how you can create your Maven builds. Any questions over here?
Yeah, Shankar.
Hmm.
We have set this Maven and Java path on root. Root user, but we are
Yes,
running Jenkins user, right?
we are running.
Oh, as a Jenkins user, this Maven job. So how does
Yes.
environment will be paths will be taken?
No, even though you run it, you can see here in the global tool configuration we are setting up, right? That is why we need to tell that where it is available. Global tool configuration is there. Here we are specifying. Even Maven
Java,
installation.
right?
Yeah, Java path also we need to set up here. Sorry, I think it is taking automatically. Yeah.
Oh, installer.
Yes, install automatically it is taking. Yeah, I missed it. Even
Oh,
Java path also we need to set it up. Sorry.
okay.
Java home. So Java home path, we need to set up the Java home path. Otherwise it should fail. Yeah, I forgot about that. Even in previous job also it should fail because Java installation is automatically. That is the reason even though we don't set up the uh, Java path, it's working.
Okay.
You should give the full path. Even for every tool there is a install automatically option is there. If you are lazy enough to can't install over here, then you can go with the install automatically option. Apply and save it. Okay, so this is how global tool configuration going forward. Even whenever we are going to install Sonar Cube or Artifactory, we are keep on updating on the global tool configuration. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to deploy on our Tomcat server. We are going to deploy on our Tomcat server. So we know how to build the code from the Jenkins by using Maven. Now I would like to deploy on Tomcat server. Now what we are going to do is we are going to configure our Jenkins to deploy on Tomcat server. We are going to configure or tell to our Jenkins to deploy on our Tomcat server. So to deploy on Tomcat server, we need a plugin to deploy. Okay, deploy on container. That is a plugin which is helps us to deploy on Tomcat. You can just go and search if you don't know plugin to deploy on Tomcat or Jenkins plugin Jenkins plugin to deploy on Tomcat server. You can just search for the plugin name and deploy to container. You can see here, this is the plugin you need to use, deploy to container. So this plugin we should use, and we can deploy on the Tomcat server. Now we are going to install this particular plugin and will deploy on the Tomcat server. Okay. So now I'm going to start my Tomcat server. Even we have deployed on Tomcat server by using the mvn command itself. Rather than using mvn command, we can go and deploy from our Jenkins itself, but we are using a plugin to deploy on the Jenkins server. So let's go and install a additional plugin. So manage plugins. This time we are going to go with the available. In available stage, we have a plugin called deploy. It's still loading. Deploy on deploy to, right? Yep. Deploy to container. This plugin allows you to deploy a WAR file to a container after successful build. So choose this one and install without restart. Now deploy to container plugin maybe needs some extension plugins. It is installing that as well. Okay, now it has been installed, and go to Jenkins and just to make sure, I'm going to log into my Tomcat server and start the services, because it is not auto started. We need to add it to the init. I'm going to explain that in Saturday's class. EC2 minus user. So now what I'm doing, I'm going to become a root, go inside to OPT, here Apache Tomcat bin directory, and ls, clear the screen, ls start startup.sh. So we have started Tomcat, and I can access my Tomcat from the browser. So go here and just 8080. Okay, I'm not giving here. Let me copy it and copy over here, and you can able to access your Tomcat server. Okay, so this is our Tomcat server. Now we are going to deploy on this Tomcat server. For that, I'm going to create a new job, Jenkins job, that is deploy on Tomcat. Okay, deploy on Tomcat, and it is a Maven project. And okay, next we need a GitHub URL which contains the WAR file. If you do remember, we haven't copied or we haven't created any what I can say, we don't have any GitHub repository which is holding the .var file. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to quickly create a new project which contains the var file, then we'll update into our GitHub repository. From there we are going to clone it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, just think that I'm asking developer that I need a Java project which generates the var file, not the jar file. Which generates the var file, we need that project. So that is what I would like to say. Now what I will do, I'm going here and I will generate the Maven project, that is mvn archetype. Mvn command will work, right? Minus minus version. If I check, why mvn is not working?
This is on Tomcat server, I think.
Sorry, yeah. So it is my Jenkins server, mvn. So it's working, mvn minus minus version. What happened? Okay, So mvn is working. Now we are going to create mvn archetype. Next generate, and we need to search for what is the number of our from the template. So just think that this all stuff is now developer is doing, not as a DevOps engineer. Now I have asked my developer that I need a WAR file to test my DevOps connection. So he will create a what I, web app application and give it to me, and I'm going to use in my Jenkins pipeline or DevOps flow. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so the number is 1610. So let me cancel it. Now archetype, enter 1610 and default one 7. Next group ID com.galaxy.webapp. Same thing I am giving earlier, whatever we have given. Artifact ID webapp project snapshot, let it be, and package name also. And I would like to go with this information. Now build happened, where it happened in my home directory. So now I will treat it as a, I'm going to initialize it as a Git repository. So clear the screen, ls git init dot, right? That is how you can initialize your Git repository. Now this is a Git repository. Git status, if I see the one directory, one folder, I need to yet to push it. So what I will do, git add dot git status git commit -m. I'm going to say that adding git repo, sorry, initial commit of web app project. Okay, so this is what we have done. Now it is asking me to identify. I will quickly going to run. My email ID is rsr31, sorry, ravas829, and password, sorry, I need to give my name, Shankar. Okay, so I have configured, but anyway, git push or is a, sorry, git commit, right? Git commit command. So we have committed changes into the local repository, but we haven't committed these changes into the remote repository. If I do git push origin master, does it go to the GitHub repository? Can somebody say that? What will happen if I execute this command?
It won't go because we need to add the repository first, git add.
Yes. So far we haven't added any remote repository, so it throws an error that I don't know to which repository I need to push. So same thing is get updated in the git config file. You can see here there is no repository information. Now I'm going to create a repository. Sorry, I'm going to create a repository in my GitHub. So this is my GitHub, not here. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So here I'm going to create a new repository and will tell to my GitHub to push this code into this repository. So I have logged in as ARSR. Yep. So repositories, create new one, web app project. Okay. You can give any name, but anyway, just for naming convention, I am giving web app project. And this time I'm choosing private, not the public one. Okay, it is a private, and we'll see how Jenkins can able to do that. And I don't need readme file and create a repository. Now we need to did all this stuff. We just need to add this one. that okay, this is my remote repository. Now I'm telling to my Jenkins local repository that you need to use this repository as a remote repository. Now if I do git push origin master, because we are pushing it into the master branch. By default, whenever you create your repository, you are going to get only master branch. So git push origin master. Now it is going to communicate with this one. I'm giving the credentials of this one, or else I can copy my public key, but let it be, let's use the credentials for now. ARSR319 is my username, and okay, I think I need to give the full path. rsr319@gmail.com and password. Okay, all right. My code get pushed into the remote repository. Now, what developer does do that? Okay, I have pushed the whatever code you asked. It is available under this particular path. That's how they will give the path to DevOps engineers. So now I am a DevOps engineer. Now I have switched to my DevOps engineer role. So I will take this particular URL and I will give it in the GitHub repository. I will give it in the GitHub repository. Now, sorry, Jenkins. Now it is saying that I could not able to find this one. Why? Because this is a private repository. In the real world, we are going to use the only private repositories. We never, or we most of the cases we never go with the public repositories. So you need to save your credentials, or you need to tell your credentials to your Jenkins so that it can go and get this one. For that one, you can add your credentials. Currently, we have only we don't have any credentials. You need to add your credentials. So for that, if you go here, it is going to create credentials over here. Other way is just go here, leave this page, and you can see here credentials. So you can see here global nothing but for entire these settings. So in the Jenkins, I want to add it. And if I go into Jenkins again, global credentials, oops, yeah, global credentials and add credentials. So this is the way you can come over here and create the credentials, or else other way is directly it will take us into this path. Okay. So now my GitHub credentials I'm giving. So username is arsr319@gmail.com and my password I have given, and identification I will just give the uh, GitHub git user. Okay, git user nothing but it will display over there. I will show you what will it do. So save the credentials. So the git user. Now again I am going back to my Jenkins job. So deploy on Tomcat. This is the one we were talking, and configure, because we haven't completed this particular job, and git and URL, and it could not able to identify. Now I'm going to choose my credentials. You can see here I'm going to choose my credentials, and with these credentials it could able to communicate with this repository. Now what I will do, I'm not going to add my Jenkins server itself, sorry, Tomcat server. Now just will do the clean install, sorry, clean package. Okay, just I'm doing the clean package, apply and save. Okay, now we'll execute it. Now we are going to execute this particular job on a private repository. Okay, in previous job it is a on public repository, now it is a private repository, and the what I can say, some of the plugins may change over here. So if some plugins are necessary, it is going to pull it. You must specify, sorry, this is not clear, clean, right? There is no, what I can say, life cycle phase called clear. So you should choose clean. Again I am going to configure, it is clean clean package. Okay, clean, apply, save and build now. Okay, now it is clean package. You can see here it is executing the Maven command on the pom.xml, and this time it may need some additional third-party repositories, so it is pulling those because it is a WAR file. Earlier we were building a jar file, right? So it is pulling all the necessary plugins, sorry, packages, and it builds my code, and this time it is going to generate my WAR file. Okay, it has been successfully completed and it creates the WAR file. The WAR file name is web app project 1.0 snapshot WAR. Now what I will do, I'm going to change the same configuration, and I will tell to, once the package is created, deploy it on a Tomcat server. For that purpose, here you need to change install. So install means the package will get created, and this package on the post installation, post nothing but once this is completed, then we need to deploy the post, right? Sorry, once the build is successful, then post build actions comes. Once the build is successful, we need to deploy it. Now you can see here, deploy where or EAR on container. This option you don't get if you don't install the deploy to container plugin. Okay, if you don't specify the deploy to container plugin, you don't get it. So deploy to container. Now you can see here where or EAR file. Now where is your WAR file is located? Where is your WAR file is located? And if you click on question mark, it will tell you that where are EAR file to deploy relative to the workspace root. Nothing but what does it do? It will go and check in the workspace directory. It will go and check in the workspace directory. Nothing but if I go here, I'm in the web app project pwd. If I go where lib Jenkins web app, okay, so sorry, where lib Jenkins workspace. So this is the default path. Here your job got created, right? So job name is deploy on container. Okay, this is temporary, it's created, I'm not sure. So we go inside to this one. In this project where your WAR file is there, so WAR file usually is under target. Under target we have a web app project dot where is there, and web app project also is there. Web app project, if I go here, index.jsp, yeah, here only pwd. Okay, it is available under /target. Okay, so this path we need to provide that. Okay, our WAR file is available under this particular location. Okay, so now what I will say, after workspace, and our job name, yep, after workspace and our job name, this is available under target. So I will give target slash web app project. Why it is web app project? It should be web app project snapshot, right? Let me search for the pom.xml. What is the name we have given? 1.0.1 web app project. It is a WAR file. So we should get this name. But our WAR file name is this one. So this is our WAR file name. So target slash web app project dot where. So take this particular WAR file and deploy on the target system. So this context one is, the context path is where you should publish your WAR file, but we can leave it as a empty for now. Okay, we can leave it as a empty and add container. So on which server do you want to install? Ours is Tomcat server, right? So Tomcat 1.8. Okay, not 1.9, because 8.x we have installed, and this is the server. And do we need credentials? Okay, so you can see here again it is asking for credentials because we want to deploy on the Tomcat server. To deploy on Tomcat server, I need credentials. Without credentials, I cannot able to deploy it. If you do remember, to deploy on Tomcat server, which user we have used? Anybody? When we were deploying through the Maven, we will have used one user.
Admin or Tomcat.
No, those two users are used to log in from the browser. But for the deployment, yeah, because we need the script access. So the user is deployer. If I go here and if I check for the users, that is under conf cat tomcat user dot xml, and you can see here the deployer user, he is having the script manager script access. So we should use this user. This user also, again, we need to add it to the credentials, then only you can choose, but otherwise you will get the git user information. So again, I'm adding that user under Jenkins, and go here, I'm giving a username as a deployer, password also deployer, I will give tomcat user. Okay, and add it. That's it. Now I have added the tomcat user deployer and the URL of our tomcat server. So the URL of our tomcat server is this one. That is our tomcat. Yep, this one, right? So this URL we should provide, but this URL keep on changing, right? So that is the reason we must use the public IP. But for now, I'm giving the same URL and apply and save we need to do. But anyway, I'm going to run through one more time about our project. So first thing is we are giving the GitHub URL. This is the GitHub URL and it is a private repository. That's the reason you should provide credentials. We have provided credentials and it is going to build from the master branch. Next thing is we need to do the install of this particular plugin. That's the reason we need to clean nothing but remove the previous packages or previous var file and create a new var file. That is the meaning of this clean and install. This is the new goal. So it creates all the necessary goals and it makes sure that your var file is available. After that, we are going to use the var file. So var file is available after our workspace. It is job name it creates. I mean to say deploy on container. So same job name is there here. So deploy on container is there. After deploy on container, we go inside to target. Under target, we have a web app project dot var is there. So the same path we have given. And if you feel that this name is keep on changing, we just give the star. So star, if you do, give what will happen. It is going to check for the var file, whatever is available. Here we have a var file. Star means it is a wildcard character. It equals to the any name. It equals to the any name. So star dot var we have given, or else other way is this also will work. This also will work. We can give star star slash star dot var. That also we can give. Now to deploy this var file, we need a target environment. So the target environment is this one. And while deploying, use the deployer user. Okay, that's the meaning of this job and apply and save it. Now let's execute build now. I'm going to build and we'll see what happens. So it's generated var file and you can see here, okay, it's generated a var file as a web app project.var. Then what happened, it also created a snapshot under which location, m2 home directory. Okay, it keeps a snapshot under m2 home directory. This is not this one, yeah, this one, yeah. So var lib Jenkins, under Jenkins it creates a m2 home directory and you can see here this time it is using var lib Jenkins. Earlier this m2 was created under root directory, but this is a Jenkins user, so Jenkins user is treating it as a var lib Jenkins is home directory by default, this user. So all the information is created over here, and then once the var file is created, what happened, deploying on the this particular location var file onto tomcat server. On tomcat server there is a web app project.var file has been created. We'll go and check it out on the target system. So this is our tomcat server, right? So clear the screen. Maybe you may get confused by changing my screens. So if I don't give any name, it means that tomcat server, if some name is there, that is Jenkins server. Jenkins server has then its own name. So again, I'm going back under web apps. If I go and ls -l, So recently, nothing but May 21st, it has copied a web app project.var, and time if I see 242. So 242, now it is 241. So it's created and copied, and I can access this one with this URL. Go to our application and slash your project name you should give. That's it. You can see here, hello world. Hello world has been what I can say is the application. Now assume that my developer has changed his code. So again, I'm treating it as my developer system, my Jenkins server itself. So what he has done, he said that okay, Shankar, I'm updating my code, you need to rebuild it. So what he has updated again main.ml web app. So index.jsp. So when vi index.jsp he has updated, and same thing h2 welcome to Tomcat he is saying. Okay, so close it. Now once he has updated, what he has to do again, git status git add dot git commit -m updated index.jsp git push origin master. Okay, that's it. He has pushed his code sr319@gmail.com and password. Now he has pushed his code. Now my code has been updated, right? So now again I need to run the new job. Again I need to run the new job, and he came back to me and he told that okay, I have updated my code, so please go and build it. Now I have built it again, and this time it should get deploy the latest code on my target system. And after job is completed, if I refresh my job, I could see the latest code. Okay, it's completed, and if I refresh it, I could see the my latest code. So this is how we can able to do or deploy our code on the target system. If you do remember, same activity we were doing with the Maven, and you could see a lot of problems. Nothing but you need to update the pom.xml with the plugins, and you need to provide the credentials, and a few other complications you might have seen. But now we are not updating all this stuff manually, because our plugin is there, and Jenkins can able to take it up whatever is necessary. Jenkins could able to take it up whatever is necessary, and it is going to what I can say, build and deploy on the target environment. Now assume that my developer frequently updating his code. He is frequently updating his code, and he is asking me that okay, I have updated my code, build and deploy, build and deploy. Once it is deployed, who will check? The test engineers is going to validate this code whether it is working fine or not. So same thing he is frequently doing, because he want to update his code frequently to fix the bugs, and he is deploying. Now again, coming and building this particular job is always headache, right? That is the reason we have few other options to build automatically your Jenkins job. So those we call it as a build triggers. So build triggers nothing but you are going to build your Jenkins job in these particular situations. So the options are different. So build whenever a snapshot deploying is built, sorry, dependency is built. This is a normal one, nothing but manually to do that one. And the trigger build remotely. Remotely nothing but you can execute or you can build your job by using scripts. We rarely use this option. Next, build after other projects are built. If you have multiple projects, one project is dependent on other project, then we are going to choose this option. But now we can just ignore it. We are going to talk about this one later. Next, build periodically. So periodically nothing but you can specify the time. You can specify the time that when you want to build your job. Okay, assume that whether you are pushing the code or not, every day night at 12 o'clock, I want to build my job. Then you need to specify your build information or time over here. But I don't specify that, okay, 12 o'clock every day, right? midnight. Okay, I cannot specify like this. There is some certain rules you need to follow to tell the time. That we call it as a what I can say, yep, cron job. So we are going to use the cron job to tell to your Jenkins to build periodically. So if I search for cron job, okay, cron job entry, if you search, or cron tab, sorry, not cron job, it is cron tab. So you can see here the Linux command format. This is how you need to give minutes, hours, day of the month, okay, month, yeah, day of the month, and day of the week, and command. Okay, this is the entry you need to follow. First one is how many minutes you need to do, hours, and the day of the month, in which month you want to give, and sorry, day of the month means which date you want to do, and month, in which month you want to execute it, and day of the week, in which week you want to execute, followed by the command what you need to do. But the command is not necessary in our Jenkins job. We need to provide this information. Let's take an example that every day midnight you want to execute it, your Jenkins job. Then what you can do, you are going to specify over here that, so midnight 12 o'clock, right? So 12 o'clock means minutes are 00, and at 12 o'clock the usually the time it takes as a 0 to 23 hours, 0 to 23 hours. If you see here, Kranta, so hours it is going to take 0 to 23. So 0 means midnight 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock means 1 hour, like that. 11 o'clock means 23 hours, night 11 o'clock means 23 hours. So midnight 12 o'clock means it is 0 hours, it is 0 hours. So 00 and 00 I can give nothing but midnight 12 o'clock. Every day I want to execute. So every day means I need to give one or two. If I give only on first day of what I can say, first day of the month it is going to execute, second date, third date. But if you want to execute every day, you can use the star option. So star means it equals to the every day. And the month also, I don't want to specify either Jan or February, right? Every month I want to execute it. So here also I need to give the star. And the day of the week, I cannot specify that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Why? Because every day I want to execute. Then you can give the star. So the meaning of this one, right? Ignore the date, ignore the date, month, and week. You just execute it every day 12 o'clock. Every day 12 o'clock. If I give only one nothing but January, okay, one nothing but January, so it is going to execute January month only, every day on January month, every day on January month. If I give star, it is every day every month, every day every month. So that is how the cron job does work. So you can just explore this one. How does it work? You can see here, month means 1 to 31, uh, month field, sorry, this is date, day of the month, so 1 to 31. This is month field, 1 to 12. Next, day of the week, 0 to 6. If I give 0 means it is a Sunday, 1 means Monday, 6 means Saturday. That's how it is going to take it up. So now what I will do, I don't want to give the every day. You can see here, every day 12 o'clock would last have done, would last have run at Thursday, May 21st, so and so 12 o'clock. So it is going to execute at 12 o'clock, and the next one is again Friday 12 o'clock. So it is clearly saying that these days it is going to execute it. So anyway, usually that's how the poll build periodically does work. So every day on this particular time, I want to execute it. Next, GitHub hooker target trigger. So GitHub hook trigger nothing but in GitHub itself, you can specify that if I push any code or if I push any changes to my GitHub repository, then execute this job. Execute this job. That you can do, but that we are going to see in next class. and poll SEM. So poll SEM also to the similar way how your build periodically does work, similar way it is going to work. But the difference between poll SEM and periodically is build periodically is going to execute at this particular point of time, whether there is changes in your code or not. Assume that I haven't changed my code today, but still this particular job does execute. But if I do the poll SEM, if I give the same time every day 12 o'clock, okay, so assume that only we have specified build periodically. If we do the build periodically, whether you pushed your changes over into repository or not, today I assume that I don't change anything, still this particular job execute. Tomorrow I haven't changed anything in my repository, still it is going to execute. Day after tomorrow also I haven't changed anything, still this job is executed, because the build periodically nothing but whether you change your code or not, I'm going to execute your job. But if I choose the poll SEM, what happens, it is going to check your GitHub, assume that today I haven't pushed any change, then it is going to it is not going to execute this job. Tomorrow again I have pushed some changes, then it is going to execute a build tomorrow. Day after tomorrow again I haven't changed anything, day after tomorrow it is going to skip. So that is how the poll SEM works. So poll SEM works whenever you change your code, then only it is going to work, otherwise it is just sit idle. So most of the cases we may use the poll SEM or build periodically in our real world. Okay, so now I want to execute this one every day, every minute, nothing but I cannot wait till 12 o'clock today, right? After doing changes, we are doing changes frequently. So what I have given, star star, 5 stars I have given. Now what will happen in this case, does anybody can tell?
The job will run every minute.
Yes, that's true. Now I am saying that star means every minute, every hour, every day, every month, every week. So I'm saying that run this job every minute without any issues. Now if I give only one here, okay, one nothing but first hour, every day or 01 I can say, every day one, what I can say, uh, at midnight, or sorry, not midnight, one means 1 o'clock, every day 1 o'clock, run every minute, because we have given star, right? Whenever it reaches to the 1 o'clock, 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4 1 5 1 6, like that it execute till 2 o'clock. After 2 o'clock again it wait for next day. So, but we want to test it out how the poll SEM does work. So I'm giving all the stars and I will update my code and push the changes. And we could see that our build should happen automatically and push the changes onto our Tomcat server. And we could able to see the updates on our Tomcat server. So that is how automation does work. Now let's go into my Jenkins server and I will add one more code. Sorry, one more update to my code. So vi index.jsp and h3. Okay, this is DevOps class. Okay, I'm just closing h3 and save this file. Git status, git add dot, git status. Now it has been added to my git status. It has been added to my staging. Git commit. Again, I'm committing this change. So updated again updated index.jsp and clear git push origin master, and I need to provide arsr319@gmail.com and my password. So it is headache. I'm going to add my keys to my GitHub repository so that it would be easy. So go to my home directory. I have already my keys, I think, .ssh. Okay, I don't have my keys. Quickly, I'm going to create my keys. Git. Okay, I will do this one in next class. For now, what we have done, we have pushed our changes, and you can see here 4 what I can say commits are sorry 4 times this job is executed. Now fifth build should happen. Okay, and this fifth build also without my intervention it should happen because we have done the poll SCM. Now our Jenkins job go and poll to our Jenkins server, sorry, GitHub repository. In GitHub repository there is a commit in the latest last minute. I mean to say latest commit is there. Now our job should able to pick up that change and execute this job. It is not executing. Let me refresh it. Yep. Okay, it has been executed. And if I open this one, you can see here SCM changer. It is executed not by Jenkins user because we haven't executed as a user. Whenever you do or you execute as a user, then only you can see this option and you can see on which code it is executing. Again, updated index.jsp. So this is the latest commit. Due to this commit, I am executing this change. Okay, and it is successful. And if I go and refresh my page, you can see this is DevOps class. So this is how we can automate our CI/CD, sorry, pipelines, or I can say our jobs to deploy on our target systems. Now, once it is deployed, our testing team will start doing testing. Maybe it is just displaying some information, but usually in the real world, it could be some application. Once it is deployed, they will check whether the application is working fine or not. They will run some test cases or sanity checks. All that they will do, and they report their bugs to the developers. Again, developer go and change his code and push it from his local system. So it is a continuation process until we get the successful working code on our test environment. Once it is working successfully, then we move on to the next level. All right. So that's all for today. I'm just going to stop over here and I'm expecting everyone to do couple of deployments and share me the screenshot of your Tomcat server. Okay, something like this. Where it is, yeah, something like this. First you need to send me the hello world screenshot, then hello world Tomcat, and then add one more line. Okay, and send me the screenshot. That is the assignment for today. And any questions? If you don't have any questions, we'll stop here. And if you need time to practice tomorrow, I'm fine because I'm planning to take a class on Saturday as well, because we will discuss our stress little more on Saturday.